Does creatine store water in your body? Is creatine helping you to grow your muscle? Will you be stronger from taking creatine? And will you be able to do more repetitions when you take creatine? These and some other questions will be answered in this video. To understand how creatine works, we'll first have to talk about energy production in your body. So it actually doesn't matter if it's fat or glycogen. Every type of energy substrate will be stored or converted into adenosine triphosphate. And this adenosine triphosphate, short ATP, is stored in your muscles. You do have a store for about a 10-second contraction of the muscle without any energy from outside of your muscle. So you don't need glycogen, you don't need fat, you don't need oxygen. You do have stores for about a 10-second contraction in your muscle of adenosine triphosphate already. And when this adenosine triphosphate is used by your muscle to produce movement, energy, it is reduced to adenosine diphosphate. So one phosphate group is split off from the triphosphate and it's reduced to an adenosine diphosphate. Now that you know how energy in general in your body is stored and produced, you will maybe see why the storage of creatine as creatine phosphate makes sense for your energy production. So the creatine is stored inside of your muscle cells as creatine phosphate. And yes, this procedure does also store water in your muscle. So people do have water gains of 1 to 2 kilograms initially when they start taking their creatine. And this water is stored inside of the muscle, which basically then means that your muscle is bigger. So yes, initially your muscles do grow, but it's just water weight. Of course, once you stop taking the creatine, the water will also be flushed out. But actually, we're not looking for the water gains of the creatine. Creatine does offer a lot more benefits than those 2 kilograms you initially gain. One of the benefits is that the creatine is stored as creatine phosphate in your muscle cells. And like you learned earlier in the video, adenosine triphosphate is reduced to adenosine diphosphate when contracting the muscle. And then you do have the creatine phosphate stored in your muscle with a phosphate group which can donor the phosphate group for the adenosine diphosphate and convert it to a triphosphate again, therefore providing energy without any glycogen, any fat, any oxygen. So your muscle does have a storage for energy inside of the muscle without any substrate from outside, no glycogen, no fat, no oxygen. Right where you need the energy, the creatine does provide this energy by donoring a phosphate group to activate the adenosine diphosphate to a triphosphate again. And this is basically the biggest benefit creatine does provide. It gives you more energy for more or longer muscle contractions. So you will be able to do more repetitions in a set. Because during a set, when your muscles contract, they put pressure on your blood vessels and therefore restricting blood flow. So less oxygen can get into your muscle, which means your muscle cells cannot produce energy as much as they could without the contraction from glycogen or fat. But you do have the creatine phosphate right in your muscle, therefore providing some energy right at the spot where you need it. And this is helping you to do 1, 2, maybe 3 repetitions more, depending on the intensity level which you are working at. So you can see creatine is helping you to do more work, not a higher level of work. So you will be able to do more repetitions, but you won't be able to lift more weight. So if your squat max is 100 kilograms and you start taking creatine, you won't be able to magically lift 110 kilograms on your squat. But you will be able to do more repetitions with 80% of your 1 rep max than you did before. And this then is helping you to get stronger, because if you're able to do 2 repetitions more at 80%, you're achieving a higher level of fatigue and therefore creating a bigger growth gain stimulus than you did before, and therefore you will also get stronger from taking creatine if you train hard enough and you can endure this level of fatigue by doing more repetitions. It will also feel like you do more. If you like this video, I'll be very happy if you leave me a like, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a personal message or a comment. I'll be very happy to answer them. See you in the next video.